Steve Salmonson, the Grand Marshal, for the word to the drivers. Steve Salmonson.
I want to thank you for coming to the 20th annual Bush Blast-Off. Gentlemen, good luck in the race, and start your engines.
Steve Salmonson, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go racing.
No.
So Steve Salmonson up on the flag stand will throw the first green flag to get the event underway. Once again, we are set to do battle, 93 laps to distance. We go racing next Saturday night at 5 p.m. Catch all the action from all three divisions. No practice, no qualifying. He's in it come feature time. Green flag is out and we're underway as Steve Salmonson sends him off with a wave of the green, and we have a side-by-side battle through the turns. Down the back straightaway, Donnie Fowler able to eke out a lead. Chris Jones falls in behind with car number 9. Hewitt and Christopher continue to run side by side. David Gator, the 1990 champion, has the 1991 champion right on his back bumper as Ricky Young running in the 6th spot. 7th is Jerry Pearl. Moving up into 5, and Dennis Gator is on the move. Black flag going out to the U2 of Jimmy Smith. Smoke pouring from underneath the U2 car as he heads around the speedway. Looks as though it may be just valve cover gasket, but nonetheless, a lot of smoke coming out from under the hood. The black flag as well as the chalkboard signaling to Smith, bring it to the infield. 3 laps posted on the scoreboard. Donnie Fowler, Chris Jones, Eddie Christopher, then it's Hewitt, Gator, Rick Young, and Jerry Pearl. All the drivers getting settled in. This is a long event. 93 laps is the distance. Only 5 are complete. Still plenty of time to get used to the car and make their move. Some of the back markers getting caught up with here early in the event. Bobby Godside, along with the 8 car of Bobby Lanphier, pulled out of harm's way. Chris Jones pulls up on the back bumper of Don Fowler's number 26. Teddy Christopher runs 3rd, chomping at the bit, looking to improve. Jimmy Broderick on the move with car number 3. Broderick able to get by Marshall White Jr. Problems earlier forcing him to come from the back of the pack. Looks as though he may tag on with the one of Potter. Potter looks to the outside of Gary Dyer. Dennis Gator losing power in car number 5 as Bob Garside gets the black flag from the flag stand. Bob Lanphier to the infield, Jimmy Smith to the infield. It looks as though Dennis Gator will be following suit along with that 35 of Bobby Garside. Don Fowler, car number 26, continues to set the pace. Meanwhile, the drivers trying to get settled in, checking the setups on their cars, seeing where they want to make the move. It's still a long way to go. The name is patience in this game. You got to be there at the checkered flag to pick up all the money. Rubberco excavating number 5 is in the center of the infield. Chris Jones continues to hound the back bumper of Donnie Fowler's 26. Eddie Christopher, quiet up until this point, runs in that 3rd spot. Fourth is Hewitt, Gator, Rick Young, Jerry Pearl, Mark Lygenet, Burt Malvin, 69 and Jimmy Dolan. Then it looks to be Randy Sayers, Bob Potter, Jimmy Broderick, Gary Dyer, Marshall White, Scott Spalding, Tommy Jensen, Ricky Knapp, and Lanphier in car number 12. 14 down. It'll be 15. Complete this time by. Up till now, most of the drivers have been very cautious. First time out in 1993. Everyone's starting to settle down as Jimmy Dolan now takes a peek to the outside with car number 69. Chris Jones looking for his first win of the year with car number 9. Testing the waters down on the inside of Donnie Fowler last time around. Once again, Jones is playing a little bumper tag down the 300-foot-long back straightaway. He's looking for one mistake, and he'll be looking to the outside of Fowler in turn number 1. The high side may be the tricket here this afternoon. Chris Jones, unable to complete the move, settles back in behind the 26 of Fowler. And he caught away warning driver car number 9. Trouble in turn number 2. Marshall White goes around right in front of a pack of automobiles. White stuck down on the apron, is going to bring out the first caution of the event with 19 laps completed. Let me tell you, folks, this has been a good lineup in row 2. Eddie Christopher wasting no time, gets on the inside of Chris Jones, pushing along the 26 of Donnie Fowler. Christopher down on the inside, standing tall, looks for the runner-up spot. Able to give a shot to the 26 car. Evidently, Christopher has a little more horsepower and looking for some opening racetrack to make it work. David Gator on the move with car number 27. He's down on the inside, closing in on Christopher as Chris Jones a little wide off turn number 4. David Gator is sideways, keeps it on the asphalt. Everybody scrambles. We've got a car across. Green flag back out. Teddy Christopher stands tall on the outside. Side by side, wheel to wheel, they work through the turns. Donnie Fowler down on the inside. Teddy Christopher on the outside. And Fowler has the edge off that 4th turn. Chris Jones closing in rather quickly, trying to take advantage. Comes up just a bit short for his effort. The U2 of Jimmy Smith once again showing signs of smoke coming from under the back bumper. He was flagged earlier from the event. Looks as though he's going to get a similar effort this time by. Meanwhile, with 23 laps shown as complete, Donnie Fowler remains at the head of the class. Out as they rumble off that 4th turn. Again, Teddy Christopher looking to the outside of Donnie Fowler. Looks as though they touch going into turn 1. Christopher has the edge as he throttles it off turn number 2. A new leader here with 25 laps completed as Teddy Christopher is out front with Donnie Fowler chasing him down. Gary Pearl on the move. Looks to the inside of Ricky Young as they go side by side down the back straightaway. Problems with Ricky Young. Tommy Jensen's in a wall. A host of cars just climbing in with no place to go as the 0 of Ricky Young unloaded going down the back straightaway. Moisture all over the racetrack and everybody just with no place and nowhere to steer their cars ends up in the Omco barrier. Tommy Jensen, Ricky Knapp, Marshall White. Looks to be the 07 car of Burt Marvin also involved. Pace car should be pulling off. Teddy Christopher and Don Fowler in row number 1. Chris Jones and David Gator in row 2. Jerry Pearl down on the inside of row 3 with the 19 of Hewitt on the outside. Little tire rubbing through the turn. Jerry Pearl able Angeles take advantage. Ducks down low onto the 27 of Gator. Side by side, they work off turn number 2. Gator on the outside, Pearl on the inside. David Gator able to make it around the outside and grab off that 4th spot. Bob Potter on the move with car number 1. Potter apparently making the necessary corrections as the car percolating a bit better at this particular point. Jimmy Broderick also improving with car number 3. Keep in mind, this is opening day. A lot of bugs to be worked out of these race cars. Eddie Christopher, Don Fowler, Chris Jones, David Gator. Then it's Jerry Pearl, Moose Hewitt, Scott Spaulding, and Jimmy Broderick. Bob Lamphere once again heads to the infield with car number 8. 30 laps showing on the scoreboard and counting. Next time around will be 1/3 of the way through this 93-lap feature event. The first major event of 1993. Eddie Christopher remains out front. Potter is on the move, closing in on the 12th car of Lamphere and the 47 of Scott Spaulding. Potter ducks down to the inside of Lamphere, makes quick work of the 12th car. Now sets his sights on the rear bumper of car number 47. Keep in mind, Potter had no practice this afternoon, didn't qualify the car, started from the rear of the field. Basically, the car was set up for Harry Rice as the driver. Potter with a few changes here in the early going. May find the right setup before it's over. Up front, Donnie Fowler goes around. Chris Jones follows suit. That's going to bring out the caution flag with 36 laps completed.
Please, Teddy Christopher and David Gator work up in row number 1. Bordwick looks to send the field up. Fowler a little loose out in turn number 4 as Teddy Christopher leads the charge. David Gator running in that second spot. Jerry Pearl now up to 3rd. That's Moose Hewitt, Bob Potter. And it looks as though the 3 of Jimmy Broderick working his way up. Then Scott Spaulding, Larry Lamphere, Marshall White, Chris Jones, Gary Dyer, and Donnie Fowler. Top 2 cars looking to run away and hide a pair of track champions. Of course, Teddy Christopher defending modified champion here at the Speedway. David Gator winning a couple years back. That's Jerry Pearl and Moose Hewitt. Bobby Potter as well. 3 of the longtime veteran modified competitors here at the Speedway. They're working positions 3 through 5. That's Jimmy Broderick and Scott Spaulding. 40 laps. Now score is complete. That about to be clicked off to lap number 41. Chris Jones working up high as he looks to get back in the hunt with car number 9. He's made his way past a couple cars in that last circuit, working up high past the 12 of Larry Lamphere. Side by side, he works his way through the turns, now sets his sights on Scott Spaulding's number 47, as Jones looking to return to the top 5. Side by side, Bobby Potter looks to challenge Jerry Pearl. Pearl now back to the 4th spot. Looks as though some mechanical difficulties may be setting in on the Porter and Chester Institute. Sponsor number 43 is Moose Hewitt and Jimmy Broderick also make their way past Pearl in the 43. Lap number 45 coming up this time by. We're a couple laps shy of the halfway mark at this point. Jimmy Broderick made his way past Moose Hewitt on that last circuit. Hewitt now now back to the 5th spot. Broderick running in the 4th position. Jerry Pearl running 6th and now being challenged by the 9 of Chris Jones as Jones made that pass through the turns. So Chris Jones now up to the 6th spot. Jerry Pearl continues to drop back. Halfway marker out this time by, it'll be 47 laps down. 46 laps remaining. Car in trouble down the backstretch. Car number 26 for Donnie Fowler of Clinton, Connecticut. Tightly bunched through the turns. Bobby Potter racing with the 27 of David Gaeta. Potter would like nothing better than to get his lap back. Potter working right alongside Gaeta. Gaeta tagged by the 3 of Jimmy Broderick. Broderick able to keep the car pointing in the right direction, as does Gaeta. Potter, meanwhile, looks to glue himself to the back bumper of Teddy Christopher's number 54. Chris Jones battling with the 3 of Jimmy Broderick. So Chris Jones having one of the faster automobiles on the speedways. He made his way from the back of the pack all the way up to the front. Potter once again continues to hammer away on Christopher's back bumper. Car in trouble as Jimmy Broderick goes around on the front stretch. Water all over the front stretch.
It becomes a race within a race. Christopher for the lead of the race. Potter just to get back on the lead lap with the leader. Potter looks to the outside, almost makes it look easy. Hammer down, he works off turn number 2. That puts Bob Potter back on the lead lap. Potter is definitely the fastest car out of the racetrack. Already a car length advantage. He's hoping for a quick caution. That's just what Bob Potter needs, and that'll put him right at the tail end of the field. Bob Potter back on the lead lap. Teddy Christopher runs second, but he's a long way behind. Teddy Christopher remains as your leader with car number 54. Then we go back to the second place of Chris Jones, car number 9, 27 of David Gator, and the 19 of Hewitt. Chris Jones closing in on Teddy Christopher. Chris Jones putting on a strong performance this afternoon, applying a lot of pressure to the back bumper of the North End Autobahn entry. Jerry Pearl quietly working his way back up through the field. Unofficially, we would place Pearl in about 6th place. No worse than 7th. And Chris Jones takes a big test in the waters on Teddy Christopher. This one's a long way from being over. 55 laps posted as complete in this 93-lap event. And Bob Potter is definitely the class of the field with car number 1. Teddy Christopher, no room to rest. Chris Jones looking for the lead with car number 9. Chris Jones with a very impressive run. Peeks down underneath once again. Teddy Christopher able to close the door tight in turn 3. Jones in trouble here on the front stretch. Regains control nicely. He had the car sideways. That's what you call letting it all hang out, and that's exactly what Chris Jones did. Jimmy Broderick on the move again with car number 3. He's closing in on Jerry Pearl. We're not quite sure whether or not the 3 car is on the lead lap. We're going to assume it is for the time being. Bob Potter continues to open up the advantage. He's got some 33 laps remaining. Continues to pull away from the field. He's got an open speedway in front of him, using it to his best advantage, and definitely gaining ground rapidly. Teddy Christopher goes around. Donnie Fowler goes around. That's going to bring out the caution flag. That puts Bob Potter at the tail end of the lead. It's an open wheel competition about to do battle. Gator has the edge. Hewitt battles back on the outside. Jerry Pearl comes forward with the 43 car alongside the 12 of Lampier. Scott Spaulding, car number 47, right in the middle of the action as Potter continues to thread his way through traffic. Teddy Christopher following along, but they're both chasing the 9 of Chris Jones. Jones is checked out and running. Problems with car number 54. Fox coming from the left front of the 54 car of Teddy Christopher. We'd have to think he's dragging the exhaust or something of that nature on the automobile. Evidently is not slowing him whatsoever. We do see a lot of sparks coming out from underneath the automobile. Teddy Christopher, a rough break with 64 laps completed. He may have to give it up as we see a lot of sparks as well as a red hot left front hub on car number 54. That left front hub is definitely red. It's glowing as he goes down the back straightaway. Well, whatever the problem was, it's gone as Teddy Christopher remains out on the speedway, and we've got a caution flag. Whatever he was dragging, David Gaeta gets the black flag on the restart, not the green flag. Yeah, we don't want to call that one. David Gaeta gets the green flag, has the lead. Hewitt looks to the outside. Jerry Pearl tucks it down low. We've got a battle for the runner-up spot between the 43 of Jerry Pearl and the 19 of Hewitt. Donnie Fowler sideways once again with car number 26. That opens the door for Bob Potter on the outside. Where did he come from? Bob Potter is up to 5th and charging. The 27 car, your leader. 43 car runs second. The 26 car is up to 3rd. And it looks as though car number 1 now has implanted itself in a 4th spot. Chris Jones runs 5th. Hewitt runs 6th. Gary Dyer heads to the infield with car number 12X. Meanwhile, Teddy Christopher on the move, closing in with car number 54. Chris Jones shuts the door. A little contact is made. Everybody stays pointed in the right direction. 71 laps complete. Question is, has Potter got the time to close in and take over? Can Teddy Christopher make his way up through the pack? Still a lot of time for a lot of happenings. And laps continue to tick off the scoreboard. David Gaeta, Jerry Pearl, Donnie Fowler, Bob Potter. Then it looks to be Chris Jones, Moose Hewitt, and Teddy Christopher in that order. Then Jimmy Broderick, Larry Lampier, Marshall White, then Scott Spaulding in the 47 car, Bob Lampier, car number 8. Chris Jones is on the move with car number 9. He moves into the 4th spot, getting by the 1 of Bob Potter. Jones letting it all hang out, goes around the outside of Donnie Fowler to take over the 3rd spot. Chris Jones, the man of the hour with car number 9, working his way to the front of the field. Teddy Christopher coming on again. Car number 54, shown in the number 6 position. Those 6 cars are running like rockets on rails. Jimmy Broderick bobbles momentarily on the backstretch. Donnie Fowler takes and then their excursion, this time into the infield. Open wheel competition. Row 2, Chris Jones and Bob Potter. Let's see who has the edge at the drop of the green. Yellow's coming back out is Jerry Pearl, wasting no time. The Gator on the inside, Jerry Pearl on the outside, and we're back to green. Chris Jones takes advantage with car number 9. Moves into the runner-up spot is Teddy Christopher. Takes over the third spot, and here comes Bob Potter to the front with car number 1. Definitely a very exciting race as Teddy Christopher and Chris Jones exchange a little metal. It looks as though Jimmy Broderick hard into the wall here on the front stretch. The debris up in turn number 1 has been removed. Jimmy Broderick's, or the remains thereof, of car number 3. That's his car. Metal to the metal. He better stay right on it. Has it 12 laps to go. Yellow comes back out. Oh, what a break for Chris Jones. Time is definitely against him at this point. Side by side, David Gator and Teddy Christopher. Christopher has the advantage into turn 1. Bob Potter moves up to 3rd. Jerry Pearl is up to 4th, and Chris Jones is on the move. Little paint swapping back in the pack as Hewitt opens the door. Chris Jones down on the inside of Lamphere looking for room. Chris Jones down underneath the 26 of Donnie Fowler. 10 to go, being posted from the flag stand this time by. And Teddy Christopher is out running, flying. Problems on the front stretch. Larry Lamphere slides off the speedway with car number 12. Green is quickly back out. Teddy Christopher able to maintain the number 1 position as sparks fly in the middle of the pack, with Gator and Pearl making some sort of contact momentarily. Everybody settles down quite nicely as we continue on the green. Chris Jones continues the highway around. Whoa, a little contact with Hewitt. That sends Donnie Fowler around. A tough break for Chris Jones. Definitely one of the quickest cars out there. Has it sideways off the turn. Trying his darndest to get it around. He's working hard for any position he can get at this point. Time is definitely against him. Down to 8 laps, soon to be 7. Chris Jones looking for room. He's running in the 6th spot, but would definitely like to improve. Teddy Christopher, Bob Potter. To go, being posted. We're running down to a precious few laps as Bob Potter appears to be reeling in Teddy Christopher. If he catches him, can he muster enough to get by? That's the question, as time is definitely running out.
About a car length separate Teddy Christopher and Bob Potter as Chris Jones goes around between turns 1 and 2. So they look to accelerate turn number 3 out of turn number 4. Danny Quarterway looks to send the field off as Teddy Christopher looks to pick up where he left off with the North End Auto Parts sponsor number 54. Potter runs in that 2nd spot. Then it's a 27 of David Gator. Moose Hewitt now up to 4th. Jerry Pearl dropping back just a bit with the 43. Chris Jones makes the move as he winds up in the 5th position. At the present time with car number 9. Top 2 cars work nose to tail down the backstretch into turn number 3. 2 to go marker out this time by Danny Quarterway with the popsicle sticks up in the air. That tells the drivers final 2 times around the 1/3 mile oval. Potter once again looks up high with the 1. Christopher working down low with the 54. White flag coming out this time by final time around the 1/3 mile oval. Hewitt loose out of turn number 4. Chris Jones pulls right up alongside. They're battling for the 4th position out on the speedway. Jerry Pearl holds on to that 6th spot with the 43. Well, for the final time out of turn number 4, the North End Auto Parts sponsor number 54 picks up the win. Teddy Christopher, the defending modified track champion here at the Speedway, starts off the year with a bang as he picks up the win in the 93 lap. Busch Blastoff 93. Bobby Potter settles for the runner-up spot after coming back for being 1 lap down to the rest of the field. So Potter picking up the 2nd spot with the Bennell brothers, sponsored number 1. Finishing in the third spot, a past track champion, David Gaeta from Niantic and the A Security. Concrete Express sponsor number 27. And unofficially in for position number 4, the Jones Brothers. Roofing and siding sponsor number 9 for Chris Jones in New Milford. Well, Teddy Christopher.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winning driver, Teddy Christopher, out of Plainville, Connecticut, picks up his first win of the year in defense of his track championship here at the Speedway. Teddy Christopher, I'll tell you, I'm not a betting man, but I bet against you this afternoon. You got to the back of the pack, you got down about mid-portion, but here you are in victory lane. I guess there's no counting you out.
Well, a lot of people don't like me here, but I did it the hard way on the outside, and I don't think they can really say anything about that.
The big question was, did you know Bob Potter was down a lap earlier when he was racing alongside you?
No, I didn't. And then when they stopped us, they told me it was a lap down.
Did it change your style of driving at the point?
No, I'd let him go. There weren't too many cars. I figured, he'd be able to come back up through. I figured I'd work him a little bit, but he's probably one of the one people that I would like behind me at this place because I like racing with Bob.
He was there at the finish. He was the car that was on your back bumper at the finish. It was quite an afternoon. You worked hard. I guess it's going to pay off dividends, and that's the way you like to start the season off.
Yeah, it's good. But, we had a tough day at Thompson, and come down here and win. It makes it a lot better. I was pretty down from that.
Well, every little bit helps, and I'm sure this is going to help a long way throughout the season. Our defending track champion picks up the first win of the year.